Are we live? Yes, we are live. How's it, everybody? And welcome to our last of our first week of Crypto EMC. With me is my partner Lee. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, thank you. It's already been a week. Wow, so fast.
Yeah, it went quick. We had to jump, get stuff done, and there's still obviously a lot of growth and development going forward. But this being said, I think today's show is going to be. I don't think it's going to be a show. Let's scratch that. Let's get that out. Today's episode is going to be a recap of what was said over the week and a little bit of a stock take of where the coins and where the projects went. So just hang on to your screen and let's quickly blast you guys with an intro video and then we can get busy. Right, Bitcoin, the Bitcoin of the day. Guys, options expiring. What does that mean? We don't really need to get into too deep into that just yet. Over due course, we can actually explain everything nice and clear. But because Fridays are going to be more of a recap of what we did during the week, I'm just going to say the following. Between 60,000 and 62,000. And let me bring up my screen because I'm not that smart. I'm reading it off an article. Between 60 and 62,000. This is going to favor the bears by 15 million. So it's not going to be a lot of gains for them. And if it closes between 62 and 64, it's going to be favoring the bulls by 75 million. Now, what does that mean? Lee, let's take this nonsense off the screen and bring up your chart there for Bitcoin. And let's take it a little bit further and let's get a little bit more technical on it. Please explain to me exactly what that chart is showing you.
This one, exactly what you said. These are today, so 6th of November, we've got 1,393 Bitcoin. It's a small auction close today. It's not that big. So, and the max band price is 62. So at 62,000, this is where the max loss will occur from people that are bearish and bullish. So as you exactly said, 64, we have like a little bit of Bitcoin of call option here. And below 60, we have like 59 and 55 even here. So basically, the guys who want to see Bitcoin below 55, they will try to push the price down here to be in profit. And the bulls who want to see the Bitcoin price above 64, basically they can only be in profit if Bitcoin price is going to be above 54. And obviously, in the middle, you have this market maker who wants to take money from both parties as much as possible. So they will try to keep the price at 62.
In the middle. Right, guys. So the end of the day is people are betting against Bitcoin. And it's just it's a bet. I'm willing, if my bet is right, I get to win. I get to have the option to buy Bitcoin at a better price, or I get the option to sell it at a better price. And everybody else sitting on the side is going to have their eyes onto this. Now, we've looked at these. We had these Max Payne and all these calls before. But the reality is the true magic of where the coin can go is always displayed nicely within the chart. So, Lee, can you open up your Bitcoin chart? And let's quickly have a look at that. So I'm interested in looking at the last few days.
Yeah. Oh, let's go to a smaller time frame today, no?
Yeah, well, let's do that. And I want to look at that in relation to the RSI, if you don't mind. So the RSI, guys, Relative Strength Index, we use this to look for divergence, to look for a scenario where price is overextended. I always say if we look at price and we look at what divergence actually means, the simplest way to explain it to you guys is to look at playing on one of those, what's those balancing beams, not a balancing beam, those seesaws that we used to see on the school ground. Now, if there's two little kids on the one side and one big fat bully and he jumps on it, the two kids will shoot up, and that will create a scenario where the height that the balancing beam kind of maxed out, and the height that the kids went way higher. So normally when you get this overextended scenario, be it in either sides, the beam will then, pull them back, and there will be a reaction at that. And I think that's the best way to have a look at it. So think of price never wanting to be in equilibrium. It always wants to swing either way. And if you get a hard swing in one direction or in the other direction, there's normally a jerk effect. And that's the divergence. And that can cement a change of trend, or it can literally just create a shaking out event. Okay, Lee, over to you, buddy.
When you look at the divergence, for example, on RSI here, we had a higher high, and there we have the lower high in RSI, but in price action here, we had a higher high in price compared to this pivot here, even this one. Okay, so that marks for me a divergence. So this move here is quite normal because of this divergence. Now this divergence comes, you can be at least certain that they will do some kind of correction pattern in at least in the form of three wave. So A, B, C, and this is how this is how I trade. So I look really at the divergence in order for me to take action. And the RSI is a momentum indicator. So it will give me the current momentum based on this time frame, 1 hour. But that's not the only tools, obviously, that I'm using. But it would just give me where is the momentum sitting at right now. Is it bearish? Is it bullish? So for me now to action the next trade is basically to wait for a bullish momentum. And now that also depends on what time frame you are trading. It depends also how much time you have in a day to look at the chart. All those divergence works in 1 hour, in weekly, 1 hour, 4 hour, 15 minutes, even in 1 minute. You can find this divergence, and you can see that the price will respect those divergence quite almost like all the time.
Okay, awesome. So Lee, I see questions here in the chat. So are we going to get a shakeout, or are we going to go up? Explain where the harmony is currently, and then from that point on, see if we can answer the question.
Well, the harmony is basically still to the bullish side, because the RSI is still making
higher highs.
Higher highs, but just this pivot here, that pivot and that pivot. If you look at 1 hour, so the last divergence that we had, you can see on 1 hour time frame is a bullish one. Why is that? Let me mark this for you. We have this price here to this one. So price is making a higher lows in 1 hour. So this is for me a bullish hidden bull. Where is my hidden bullish divergence? And I've got here with RSI making a lower low, right? So that is for me a hidden bullish divergence. And with that action, then I'm expecting already a 3 wave up. Maybe it's going to be 1, 2, 3. So this is based only on 1 hour chart. And after that, basically, then we can look for another divergence. If there's a bearish divergence coming, then the price is going to go down with in term at least a 3 wave. Sometimes it can be much bigger, but this is the least what we can expect. You obviously go hunt for this divergence not only on one time frame, but the time frame is also very important. If I want to take a trade on a 15 minutes, I need to assess already on a daily chart, where is the momentum on a daily, where is the momentum on a 4 hour, and 1 hour, and so on and so on. So you have the bigger picture first, and then you zoom in in order to find your perfect entry. So are we going to expect a shakeout? Hard to say on that chart on 1 hour, but I would say it is possible, because on the weekend normally the liquidity is low, and like I said, it all depends on bulls and on where the stop and where the money is. So we can see even if we have taken a trade yesterday, our stop will be already here. So it's pretty easy for the market makers to come and stop everyone out before we can have a next leg up. For me, the market right now is sitting in this consolidation zone. There is money here. People are shorting this, and they're going to put the stop loss above those wicks. So there's money at 64, and there's money below 62. Like I said, like we've seen on that chart, there is 55 as well. So again, even if the price is going at 55, it will just tell me it is a really, really good buy, nice zone to buy. there's maybe an imbalance here and a small imbalance at exactly 56, 55 zone. So that will be a nice area to grab the price if we choose to go there. Otherwise, the next solution is to go first liquidate the shorts and then maybe come back to take a few longs out before the next rally.
I like this because the thought pattern behind the emotion is people are getting confident that it's going to go up. People have got that, it's gonna, and the market can play a trick on you. And the biggest trick it does is it first makes you right. And then when you're right and you start making money, it turns and it takes all your money because you were right now. So this is just a little shakeout. And that's normally the shakeout then that shakes your belief out of what your game plan is. So Lee, if we flip this back to the daily, and we were saying, misbehaving cryptos. Brilliant tile. Let's just quickly bring up that tile. And I really like the artwork there. And the idea was that we look at this misbehaving cryptos and we said, well, slap a fib on it and Lee will explain to you guys. So maybe use the scenario and just briefly explain to everybody exactly the simplest, easiest first step to applying a fib correctly.
It's first obviously to understand what those numbers are. Okay, so for me, a simple explanation
can you zoom in there, please, buddy?
Yeah. By the way, I know there are a group of people that interpret this RSI and divergences a little bit differently than I do. I respect their choice. There are two group of people, or the traders interpret this RSI differently than I do. But yeah, I mean, keep trading your techniques and your strategy. If it works for you, I'm happy. And the way I interpret this RSI, it has worked pretty well for me in the past. So I'm going to stick to my opinion on that.
Okay, cool. Right, Lee. Okay, show us that trick.
So this fib, first of all, you need to understand what those numbers are, right? 0, 23, 6, 38, 2. I removed the 50% because it's not a Fibonacci number. It's actually a GAN number. 618, and then 786, we can add 887 and 6, and so on, and 1. The easiest way to interpret these are percentages. That was not my phone. Okay.
Yeah, this time it's my phone.
Is that a trade alert? Is any entry to be taken here?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
No entry just yet.
For me, the easiest way to interpret this is there are percentages. I'm not going to dive into details on how those numbers are calculated. It's easy to find on Google. And for me, those are percentages. So if you take a price action from a starting point to wherever you think is going to end within this time frame, forget about 29,000. Actually, the price is not important for me. It's just those levels. So if this is the entire price action of an asset, at what percentages of discount are you going to be comfortable of buying this asset? So if you look at this as only interpret this as the percentages of discounts of a product, of an asset, of a service, at what kind of price discount you are willing to spend your money, or you are to buy this service, or Bitcoin in this case, right? So we call a golden zone this 618. Actually, it's between 50% and 618. So I am comfortable of buying any service at minus 61.8% discount, between 61% on the previous move. Yes, on this. If this is the 0 and you put 100 here, I am happy to buy anything at 61.8% discount, or even better, 78.6% discount. So imagine you walk to a shoe shop, and you see a pair of shoes, or any in shoe shop, a pair of shoes, obviously, and it advertises
a
pair of Nikes at $100. Now, the shop open in the morning, it advertises at $100, but they've got 10 pairs of these shoes at $100. If you are willing to come and buy these shoes right now because you don't have time and you don't care about the price, you don't want a discount, then you grab your pairs and then you go. But at 5 in the evening or 8 in the evening, if the shop is still sitting with 8 pairs or 7 pairs of these Nike shoes, And if they want to sell those Nike shoes today because tomorrow they're going to receive another batch, they may advertise it and give it to you at a certain percentage of discount. So that is your negotiation with the shop or with the market right now. And
your
are
risk,
you willing to wait?
basically.
Are you willing to wait for that discount to grab your pair of shoes, or are you willing to pay the full price? Basically, this is how I'm looking at the market, at the price action within that given time.
So the biggest scenario that I just want to add to this, guys, is that when we look at this discount, it does not make the shoes less valuable. And this is where a lot of people get tripped up, because what happens is now, if all of a sudden Nike goes worldwide and they say, we're going to slash the shoe prices by 30%, 50%, all across the world, because we feel like it's too expensive. The value that we've instilled in the brand over the years of reputation is not going to actually change your opinion of it. It's actually just going to bring more people more people to the table and allowing them to buy. But for some reason, as soon as that gets shown on a chart, our mind changes, because we probably did it somewhere where we bought a discount, but it wasn't a discount. It was a going out of business sign. And that's the difference between going on discount and going out of business. Investing in something that's going out of business means there's no after sales. And that's where the trick comes in. So you always just have to keep that in mind. And that's where a little bit of fundamentals comes into the picture, just to help you understand. If Nike goes on sale, if BMW goes on sale, that's a good thing. You're getting a bargain. That's the heart of it. But if Nokia goes on sale, you're not going to change your mind and buy a Nokia phone, most probably, because it's a going out of business sale. And that's the fundamental understanding, that your Apple smartphone is cool, it's hip, it's something we all want, or your Samsung, but we don't walk around carrying Nokias anymore. So that's the briefest explanation we can think of on that.
So now on the TA wise, how to use that? Basically, you have this trading view toolbar on the right hand side, and you need to go to this icon here. It's from the 1, 2, 3, the third one from the top, and now you have this Fibonacci retracement tool. So you can click here, and you can place your first click somewhere in the chart. Obviously, try to find this the local low, the pivot low, and you can go to the next high that you can see, and then you will have something like this. Okay, so here are all those discount and percentages that you can find. You can customize it. Let me bring the default one first. So here you have all those numbers. So like I said, 23.6, 38.2, 618, 786, 0.5. You can decide to put it on a chart, or you can decide to leave it out, and 1. Okay, so and be careful, guys. Don't activate this FIB level based on log scale. We're not going to touch on log scale for now. So make sure that this button here is not ticked, because I received a lot of chat from people showing me FIB level with that one on. So make sure that this one is not ticked. And then, and then you have your tools. You can customize the colors, put numbers. Numbers are those numbers. If you accidentally change those numbers, just remember 23.6, 38.2, 618, 786. Like I said, you can put 887 or 886.
Just watch the video again.
Yeah, watch the video
Just
again.
watch the video again.
Okay. And then okay. Now the next mistakes that when you start using FIB, the question that I'm getting quite a lot is: Are you gonna take it from the bottom to the top, or you take it from top to the bottom? My answer to that is from the bottom to the top. 1 is at the bottom here, all right? But once you understand those numbers, 23.6% discount, 38.2% discount, 61.8% discount, and you have this 43,000. So you can do exactly the same mathematical equation. 67,000 times 61.8% discount. Is that number does that number make sense to me? If this is the 0 and this is the 1, if I'm buying here, is it on a scale from 1 to 100? Does that 618 number make sense to me? Or sometimes because sometimes you just have this reverse button on, and your FIB will look like this. So when the price, assuming it's 100 here, if it retraces to $70, did you get really a 61% discount on your $100 pair of shoes? If they still ask you to pay $70 at the counter, probably not. So then your FIB level are wrong, and in order to correct that, either you just, if you click from top to the bottom, then you delete and you click from bottom to top again, or you just come and you just click on that reverse button here, and then you have the correct ratio.
Now, for everybody now that maybe now say, whoa, you went quick, or this is not confusing. Let's just give them the quick, easy hack that we looked at when we first started. If you've got a FIB drawn like this, and this is the magic about Fibonacci, the important buy zones, the important ones, there's many other ones, but the highest probable ones, you actually can't mess them up. Do you mind drawing a FIB, the same FIB, but just drawing it from top to bottom instead of bottom to top? And I just want to show you guys the important two lines, the 38.2 and the 618. Now leave your original FIB there, if you don't mind. They don't move. They'll always be in the same way because the percentage relationship to the move on those two FIBs will always be the same. So if ever you're in doubt whether I've moved it from high to top, or from top to bottom, or bottom to top, don't worry about it. Are you looking at the correct two, 38.2 or 618? They can't move. They'll always be in the same relation. And at least at that stage, you're going to be very closer to this than anybody else still worrying about whether I clicked it from the right way up. Okay, guys, so we've got a busy show.
Yeah, just be careful that when I say we buy at 618 zone, that you're not buying at 38.2, you know?
Yes, so that's true. Always check out charts. Okay, right, guys. We've got a busy show. We actually need to start pressing on. We wanted to make it slow and easy for you guys. Lisa, let's flip quickly and let's start getting through these coins. So the first coin on my list that I have misplaced here somewhere, let's quickly get it, is RSR. Do you mind bringing up RSR for us, please, there? And let's quickly just take an update of what we said and where we were talking about this. So zoom in closer. I think everybody can go and look at the previous video, the Monday video, Tuesday video, our first actual video, to just get a little bit background detail should you want to. Zoom into that dollar cost average range and just quickly explain what do you think is RSR going to do based on what we've now discussed on Bitcoin over the weekend.
Well, because we give those entries for more like, like I said, 2 weeks and months of holding before we can get a bump, because we don't know when the market maker is going to decide to make a move. The only thing we can do is to position ourselves in tune with our risk management, and then let the market do the job, because we don't have the power to move the market, right? I mean, you and me, Rudo, we don't have the money to move the market, and we don't have the money to manipulate the market and going for the stop losses. So the only thing that we can do is to position ourselves in tune with our risk management, and we can sleep sleep at night. And even if the coin is dropping, then we are prepared for that. So TA basically only prepared you for the good scenario and the worst scenario. And we try to prepare ourselves for the worst possible scenario. And then we can expect all the outcome basically. So within this range, the daily range, the DCA range, it was a 618786 zone from the bottom to the top. And that was how I found out this zone. Now within this zone, we can see the structure, higher lows, and we are trying on a smaller time frame to make higher highs. So now it can happen that this move here, we can retrace for another, within this small section here, we can still come back and test this 50% or 618 zone, which in order to find out, we can put a FIB from here to here. So the price, it can possibly come back to 35, 0035 and 070, this zone, bottom of the range, right?
Lee, wait, buddy. Zoom in so that I can see that entire FIB, because it's very small there, buddy.
So there's no right or wrong place to put your Fibonacci tools. It all depends on the what time frame you're looking at this price action.
Okay, cool. So what FIB level, if you look at that 23.6, that would be our you're still okay FIB level.
Yeah.
Because if it stays above that level over the weekend, the chances of it going to 38.2 or 618 is very low. And remember, you want a candle to open below that, not just wick through it. You want a daily candle to open below it. So the 12 a.m. in the morning starts opening and then close below that level, because then you know, hey, maybe I need to get out because it's going to go on sale. So that's your it's going to go on sale level. So always remember that. And this is all relative to exactly how the market is going to react with Bitcoin.
Well, if Bitcoin wants to visit this 55, this thing is going to definitely retrace to the bottom range.
We're definitely going to get a test of that range, which would be good. Maybe it will not happen over the weekend. Let's see. Let's keep this bullish positivity.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So bullish, bullish, we're making higher highs, and we're gonna go like once when we go above this those neckline, those previous high here, then we still have the target of the 0.06. But
okay, cool.
The point is, I'm really comfortable of this zone, and whether they're gonna come back or they're gonna go up, it's just already part of my risk management, so I don't need to worry about this.
Okay, great, Lee. Let's move over to comp. We are really running out of time. A comp is going to have the same playbook, basically, guys.
Same.
So if you look at where it's at now, we're still holding for the target between 600 and 800, that 700 reload zone that you've got there. And use the FIB, guys. Lee, zoom into that last little impulse that we've got there. And use the FIB to do just that. Put your 23.6 line in. And if it stays above it, you're still okay. And that's where the alert function comes in handy. You can just put an alert at that level. And then if it sounds, you can just quickly go and have a look, which means you get to walk away from the screen as well. We tend to think that if you stare at the candle, it's going to grow. It doesn't work that way, guys. So this one at this stage, you can see where that level is.
It's it is closing below. We went to test the 38.2. And now if you lose 38.2, then for me, we can go back to 618. Possible, definitely. For now, but
yes,
if
it
you hold 38.2 is also an important level to hold if you want to see some continuation in the move.
Shows the strength of momentum. Let's quickly go over to your top pick, Filecoin.
Filecoin, same scenario as the other one. We are still even below this. So I'm looking more at upsides on Filecoin, and below that, we're definitely gonna turn more bearish on that one. But on the daily investment, there's nothing to say today after a week. Like I said, we're planning this for weeks and months.
Longer term. Okay, then I think the important one that we maybe need to skip to, because I think we're gonna have to skip. Well, let's not skip Luna. Let's open Luna. So Luna is still on its way to that TP. Or did it hit that TP target of yours?
I don't know. Close. 53 and then 54, $1 shorts.
Okay, cool. And so Luna is exactly just where we're at. There's not much changes. Remember, we are charting on the daily for now. Later on, when we're gonna we'll start charting in smaller time frames for you guys as well.
Coming back to divergence, there's no big bearish divergence that I can see on Luna.
All harmony.
On the daily chart, there's no divergence, but I'm sure that this high and compared to that high, there's a small divergence. So Luna can easily make a 3-wave down from here and then come back for those higher targets.
And that 45 price action zone there looks very juicy if that scenario plays out, because then you can bounce on that wick between 46, and there you go. Thanks, Lee. So just go down a little bit lower. I wanna impact that demand zone that you've got there. So that demand zone, and there's the imbalance. So from 46 onwards to about 46 and a half, almost 47. That would be a very juicy area for you to, if you see that retracement, to take a little nip at it, because it's just going to sweep the lows, and then at that stage we should have a bullish divergence playing out, and at least go and attempt the previous high.
on 1 hour, if RSI is going to make a lower low compared to these two and price is still above, then you have already your bullish
Then
divergence.
you're already going to go. Then you can't go that low.
So on 1 hour, if RSI is turning down here, then you have a lower low and you will have a higher low in price if you're holding this level. And then that will bring you another 3 wave up, at least minimum.
Lee, is there any significant changes or dot on Phantom from what we've spoken through?
Dot, this one, yeah, there's a small imbalance. Same dot and Luna make a higher high. At that time, yeah, we said we're gonna expect more, a little bit of consolidation before it can get this momentum to go up and target higher targets. But again, if Bitcoin is dropping, then all of them is gonna drop to the zone, and then that will bring us more buying opportunity or more trade.
Okay, cool. And then Phantom.
Phantom, let me check here. Phantom, so you see guys those divergence. Again, I'm gonna just draw it here. Price is made higher highs, but RSI was not following. What happened after that? Making a 3 wave down. Okay. And now why we have a reaction here, RSI is making lower lows compared to those pivots here, but price is still holding up this level here. So small time frame Phantom, I'm expecting a 3 wave up, at least. If that 3 wave can turn to a 5 wave up, is even better, but 3 wave and then try to make a higher high. And then let's see on 1 hour on the daily chart where we can get another divergence forming. Price will always follow those divergence unless it gets deleted. This is the battle basically between bears and bulls.
And there's Cardano. It's still on its way trying to get to that entry. So that's a good sign. And that's probably why, we kind of expected Solana to flip Cardano because of the charts. Lee, I think the next coin that we need to be looking at is going to be VeChain is on my list. You did Litecoin, Ontology, and Solana. Let's quickly look at Litecoin, then Ontology, then Solana, and then I'll wrap it up with VeChain, and then the weekend send off for you guys.
Yeah. Litecoin is still pursuing his momentum. We have another 3 wave correction here with a bullish bullish divergence compared these two here and there with the price. I don't know if I have to make it bigger, but we are also forming. So we had the divergence here compared to here, right? This is daily, so we have a divergence here, lower RSI, and then higher in price. Divergence bring 1, 2, 3 wave up, and now price needs to go above this line here, and RSI as well needs to go above this pivot here. All right. So that's the two battles that the bulls needs to do is need to push the price higher to 214, but importantly also RSI needs to go on a daily chart above this 69.70. Otherwise, they can do that with the divergence. You can bring again another 3 wave down.
Okay, great. Lee, then I think let's just quickly look at liquidity. Some interesting stuff there. If you can open up your liquidity chart. We gave the liquidity to you guys. We explained to you guys what makes it special and why we like this one. And as you can see, liquidity, sure, your liquidity and my liquidity is different. I think we've used different swaps to chart that. Mine's already gone slightly above the buy zone, but neither of them really had the buy zone. So I think let's use yours as an example. We're hovering at above that level. And at this stage, just give me the 23 on that last impulse, and let's see if we're going to be, if your version of it is going to retrace down to our buy zone.
So
so you can see how that 23 is holding.
Yeah. From this pivot here, we wick below, but we are holding this 23. Next one will be 6169, and if no, yeah, that's the last pivot I see.
Okay, cool. So, guys, I'm going to jump over and just quickly share the VChain that I had. And I just want to show you guys why, it's always important to just keep level-headed with, especially these small ones. So I'm just going to throw my chart there. So this is the same liquidity. It's using a different pool. And one thing that I'm picking up, and I just want to bring this to you guys' attention, at least one is at a different price point. But mine at this stage, we had a 33% from the high-low, almost a Darth Maul candle in the forming. And at that scenario, we almost literally hit the buy. And this was the buy that I was looking for to get in on as we laid it out for you guys. So just keep an eye on these small ones. They tend to take, they tend to have these crazy wicks. So that's why we said, please don't use a lot of money with these ones. That's a 40% change my mind in a day candle. So just be careful with these ones, guys. A little bit goes a long way. And then lastly, let's just quickly have a look at that before we do the sign off. Remember, we offer VChain. We said we've got a good fundamentals behind it. There's a reason for people to start buying the coins. And there's the governance token of the VEX chain governance token that's going to be airdropped to all the wallets trading on their new DEX when it launches, I think the 9th of November. So just keep an eye on this. Our buy zone is going to be sitting smack there in that range there. We've made the higher high. I'm extremely happy with this one because in the end of the day, the higher high now needs to come back and there we grab our buy. So this 15%, we can't claim it because realistically, I didn't buy at that level. And we could have bought 30%, but at this stage, I would want that sweet spot buy. That's the nice confirmation buy. And then just lastly, just to bring you guys attention to the RSI. Remember, the RSI is not something that's cast in stone. And what do I mean by that? If we look at the way that the candles are printing at this stage, this pivot to that pivot over there, it's currently making a higher high to a higher high. That's a beautiful sign. I love that. But this thing can move down. And if this candle closes, you always have to look at the time. Yes.
Yeah.
If that candle
closes, wait for the candle close
to lock it in, because a lot of people look, but there was bullish divergence. It's now gone. Divergence is not a cast in stone rule. It can get deleted and it can be removed. So just remember that, guys. So we always look at candle close. So if the analysis is done on the daily, you wait for the daily to close. That divergence needs to get locked in. Otherwise, or the harmony needs to get locked in. Otherwise, it's a fake out and then it's going to pull back, similar to what happened over there. Okay, right, guys. So that is basically the wrap of our first week. Wow, Lee, took forever to get here, buddy. This was an awesome week. We've got an awesome team behind us, helping us as well, guys. And they're all from the community. And we have to say thank you to each and every one of you guys. You know who you are. And we appreciate you. And next week, we're going to go and we're going to ramp up things a little bit more. We're going to start getting a little bit more aggressive in the charts, bringing a little more hard-hitting news with some really good fundamentals. There's really good upcoming events happening that we want to broadcast through to you guys. And then lastly, there's a Discord that we've created. The link will be put into the description of this video, as well as a Telegram. It's just an announcement Telegram, guys. You won't be able to write. It's just for us an area to remind you and post out the link to the YouTube. It's a safe place so that there's no other hacker going out there creating a dummy one and then selling something onto you. And then Lee, yesterday you tweeted out a tweet about scam artists. And I thought I would just take a quick snap on that and just explain to you guys exactly how these guys go about scamming people. So what they do is they create a new account or they'll use an existing account. And the first thing they will do is they will access one of our accounts and they will copy our tweets, retweet them, and copy our image, write our description in their description, and then they will block us. I can't see what the guy's doing. And then he starts targeting the people on the group. So it's very important that when this happens, guys, always check the spelling, because it's easy for them to just shift an S down or take one C out of fibonacci and so forth, and then start promising you stuff. We will never, ever ask you, and we will never give you these outlandish coins if you send us a couple of $1,000s. They don't exist. It's too good to be true. So treat it as such and just be safe, guys.
Don't give your money to anybody for them to trade for you, to trade. No, do it by yourself. We'll be here to help you do that by yourself. We will never ask you for money. Don't give it away, and don't ever share your seed phrase if you have wallets. Those are the basic rules for your own security. It's crazy.
Right, then finally, $100 to 1 million. It's an outlandish claim that we've made, but it's something we can stake our reputations by. What we're going to be doing, guys, at some stage, we're going to be launching this live on the show with the account open. And those trades are also going to be shared with you guys on the Discord and on the Telegram as they move forward, and on Twitter as well. So please go and look at these, get yourself connected onto these platforms, and go to the website, sign up for the newsletter. More info will be made available. At this stage, we're just finding our feet, so it's no use we start with something like this when all the infrastructure that we want to put in place to help it and make it and facilitate this for you guys is not in place just yet. And I think that's about that. So this was an awesome ride, guys, and we've learned a lot. Your comments helped a lot. We've improved a lot, and new mics will be coming. It seems like I'm not winning the battle with my mic, and all these things. And that's it. That's it from my side. I'm going to say goodbye, and I want you guys to have a lovely weekend. Oh yeah, and Lee, we need to press that like, subscribe button if you'd like the content. Only if you like the content, and hit the bell button for notifications.
You have made it so far, so there's only like just 1 or 2 steps away from that.
Yeah, just hit that button. Yeah. It will help us, get our reach out. We want to help the community, so we need you to help us help the community. In the end of the day,
share the YouTube link on Twitter. Tag some friends that you want to help. If you don't have friends, tag Rudo and tag me. We'll be your friend.
There we go.
Thank you.
And have a lovely weekend, guys. And see you Monday. And comments on the time slot. We're still working on which time slot we need to hit. Awesome, Lee. What a show. We're getting there.
So fast, them fights. Wow.
We overtime already. Yeah. Well, see you guys later. Cheers.